I cried for weeks, me and my husband, because we didn't know what to do. And worse than that, I blamed myself.
Yeah.
I must have done something wrong. Maybe I didn't breastfeed long enough. I should have eaten better food, etc., etc. Why didn't I detect it sooner? I did this, I did that. I went to a period of, Lord, what did I do wrong? You know what? So David is now 21 years old. He was diagnosed in the autism spectrum. It's called PDD-NOS. It's pervasive developmental disorder, not otherwise specified, when he was roughly 3 years old. And I didn't know David had autism. It was actually my friend Small Laude who told me, Karen, I think you need to have David checked. I said, why? Because, Karen, every time we're out, David is screaming, he's crying, he's not talking. And I remember I said, nako, spoiled lang yan kasi nag-iisang apo. And he doesn't really speak because his father is quiet. And Small told me, no. Karen, when kids aren't speaking or communicating, nagwawala sila. They're not able to express themselves.
Yes.
Being a first-time mother, I didn't know what it was like to mother. I had no basis of comparison. So I was a full-time working mother. So I went to a doctor, Dr. Francis de Malanta. By that time, at 2 to 3 years old, they couldn't tell. I went to Doctora Alexis Reyes and she diagnosed David. And it's the same. I cried for weeks, me and my husband, because we didn't know what to do. And worse than that, I blamed myself.
Yeah.
I must have done something wrong. Maybe I didn't breastfeed long enough. I should have eaten better food, etc., etc. Why didn't I detect it sooner? I did this, I did that. I went to a period of, Lord, what did I do wrong? So at some point, being a journalist, I said to myself, wait, I am gonna take action. So you have to remember that doctors tend to be conservative. And when I say, what can I do
Yes.
for my son? Therapy lang. There's no treatment. Ganon. And I didn't want to go that route. You have to remember, this is 2004 or 5.
And there's not that much information
Exactly.
then. I'm very lucky because now there's so much more information. A lot of people feel empowered to talk about it. There's a lot less shame.
Yes.
Diba? Parang before, wala lang yan.
Oo.
Or it's so debilitating. They think that there's nothing you can do about it, right? So I can imagine how difficult it was.
Absolutely. So I gave birth to David 2002. When I was told that, do you want to join a support group? Oh my gosh, right? You want to join a support group? You can it's therapies. I felt, ito na yon? There's nothing more. So I went completely revolutionary. I went to the other side of the spectrum, as they would say. So Small had a school then. It was a school that was quite inclusive, but her principal, teacher Rachel, had 2 children with autism. In a way, she treated them, right? I wouldn't say she cured them. She treated them. So what happened? I went to a biomedical doctor, and then David got into a very strict diet called the casein gluten-free
Free diet.
There are many diets now. Some now they even have a high-fat diet.
Yeah.
There's a yeast-free diet.
But it makes a big difference, guys. I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm going to sidebar here and tell you that with Max, it's almost like he's on drugs. Like he's high. When he eats the wrong kind of food, I can tell his eyes get glazed
You
over.
said it.
He's like loopy, cannot
Absolutely.
concentrate, tantrums. It's like what happened night and day. And it just goes to show you the power of nutrition and food and the toxins that we put in our body, right?
So this one, because I'm sure the parents listening to you either have a child with autism or they don't know how to move forward. So David, when he was very young, I hope, David, you don't mind me sharing. So he would be screaming, crawl. He would be running up and down. He would be hitting his yaya. He would be sticking himself on the wall in public places. He would be rolling on the floor. I mean, it was very tragic, painful. He was
And you
uncontrollable.
feel helpless,
I
right?
felt helpless. He had no eye contact. He would be able to read words but didn't know the meaning. He wouldn't say mom. He wouldn't say I need this, I want this. It was just painful. So let me go first to the science of food. Mothers would often ask, no, I don't think it's important. It is. So the gluten-free, casein-free diet was founded as the foundation of biomedical treatment. What does it do? Gluten is a protein found in wheat, oats, barley, and rye. And what happens is it's been discovered that kids in the spectrum, they lack an enzyme in the body to digest gluten.
And process it.
Yes. So what happens to them, you ask as a parent? It goes around their body like opium. So they're high.
They're high. They
They're
really
high.
look high.
Yeah.
Like my son really looks like, I'm like,
Exactly.
what did you eat? You know?
Yes.
And and when I mean like high, like glazed
Yes,
over.
and dazed.
Yeah, dazed.
Yes.
Dazed.
So if you want your child to be able to absorb, to learn,
Yeah.
you first have to, the diet is non-negotiable. I always tell parents that because you have two brains in the body, this brain, and then the gut is a brain. So that's the first. So when David got on the GFCF diet, para siyang nag-withdrawal sa drugs. Nag-zombie ng mga 2 weeks. But then from then on, he started to change slowly. So biomedical treatment then is a whole other treatment where you are treating them for what they lack in the body.
Yes.
So before, all the doctors were from Hong Kong, they would be abroad, but there's now a local doctor. So things have changed. But mothering a child in the autism spectrum, for me, I approached it in a very tough love kind of way. May mga nanay na aawa, bigyan mo na ng cake,
No.
bigyan mo na ng spaghetti.
Oh my God, it's the worst.
Exactly.
It's the worst.
So it's a different kind of love.
And you know what? I will tell you this. Max knows it doesn't make him feel
Good.
good. So he himself auto-censors.
Yes.
He at 7,
Yes,
7
same
years
with
old,
David.
he'll go to a party and he'll be like, I'll ask my mama first. I don't think I can eat
Fantastic.
that. Yeah.
Yes.
Because he already knows how to recognize when he feels good
Yeah.
and when he doesn't.
I'm so
Right?
happy.
And it's one of the things I realized is that nowadays you can change the way you look at it. It's not a disability anymore. It's a superpower. I always tell Max, you have superpowers.
Yeah.
It's not, and I'm so lucky he's in a school that really celebrates neurodivergency because it comes in all shapes
Absolutely.
and forms.
Yeah.
And I think, the generation of my parents were like, ay, that's parang disability, or it's not a disability. The mind. So let's just break it down a little bit for you guys. So neurodivergency versus neurotypical is what we would call normal. Neurodivergency is just saying that the mind works differently. And it's beautiful that we're all different.
Yes.
And that, Max can see things and process things in a way that I can't even,
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that. Wow, right? And just empowering them.
No, but we have to remember also as parents, I mean, our children are in the spectrum wherein they are speaking, they're verbal, they
Yes.
understand. But let's not forget the reason it is autism. I asked the same question. Why is it that David, when he was working, carries a PWID? The reason it's called a disability because we often associate a disability with something physical. But the spectrum is quite big. And there are kids in the autism spectrum that are completely nonverbal.
Yes.
They completely do not understand. In other words, the neuro delay is so extreme that it's very difficult to have a step up.
Yes.
So I don't want to say we're fortunate, but it's just the children we have. Let's
Yes.
put it to that.
Can express themselves.
Exactly.